Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Taylor, and in today's video we're going to be taking the 2007 Subaru WRX STI to the dyno. We're going to build a tune for it, and then we're going to see how much power this thing puts down. So let's go ahead and get rolling. Alright guys, this is Isaac Fish with Fishhead Performance Tuning, and we've got the STI in here. We just did a test drive, so Isaac, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hey, how you doing? I'm Isaac, this is Fishhead Performance. We're here to check out Taylor's STI 2007. A lot of unknowns on this car, so we're going to kind of have to comb through it a little bit and see what we got going on. It's got a fairly large turbocharger on it and some pretty big injectors that we need to figure out what they are so we can scale them properly. And we'll see if we can't go through a full pre-dyno inspection, get on the dyno, clean it up so it runs good, drives good, and it's a real good car long term.
So we're going to get this car up in the air and give you the prognosis of what Isaac finds, and then we'll hit the rollers and see what happens. All right guys, we're underneath the car, and obviously we've got some aftermarket sway bars and end links. And the tire gets close to the coilover up there.
But it never gets closer. So you don't
yeah, that's good. So one thing Isaac noticed is that we have a carbon fiber drive shaft in this thing, which is really cool. And actually, are we missing there's like a cage that's missing a bolt in here. So some rubbish from how low the car was. We've got some bolts that are about to fall out of this dump. It's not actually an electric cutout like I had thought. And it's a 3-inch exhaust, not a 4-inch. Got some aftermarket subframe mounts. This pan, as we noticed before, the header wrap is completely deteriorated under here, but pretty cool stuff. So
looks like a Tomei equal length header and up pipe. It may be an early Tomei exhaust system. Not 100% sure.
You recognize that pan now that we got it up?
It might be a Moroso.
Oh, it is a Moroso. Yeah, I see it up there. Yep. So Moroso finned baffled pan.
Cosworth air pump delete on this car. Big fuel system on it, unknown. Big unknown turbo. It's a Blauk of some sort. It's probably a Dom 3 or 4. It's pretty big. Internally gated still.
Oh yeah, it does say Tomei on the headers up there.
Okay. Yeah. Decent. It's not rusty. It's wonderful.
Not rusty. Yeah, it's
beautiful.
Clean car.
Yep.
That somebody unfortunately slammed to the ground and wore this whole exhaust system out of it. So this is definitely just for show. This is the stock STI tailpipe section that they neck down, and this is where all the action comes out of right here. Super clean car, so Isaac's gonna do his thing. We'll get out of his way, and we'll catch up with you on the dyno. Pulling it up on the dyno. He just finished up the inspection, and he actually found a lot of interesting stuff, so we'll go over that later in the video. Right now we're gonna pull it up here. Yeah, you're good. All right, guys, we got it on the dyno. We still have to strap it down, but he just hooked up his tack signal, boost, and then we've got oxygen sensor and the exhaust underneath in that cutout. So we're just going to strap this thing down and get rolling. So this should be interesting. He noticed, I mentioned in the previous video that I thought this was a TD05 turbo back here. It turns out it is far larger than that. It's got a 3-inch turbo inlet, so he said that our goal boost range will be 20 to 22 pounds, I think, today on pump gas. The car's got a mix of 91 and 92 in it, so we're not going to take it much further than that much boost. But I'm really interested to see what happens, guys. This has a lot more done to it than I even had thought yesterday when I went and checked this car out. I mean, the carbon drive shaft and all that stuff. Somebody put a lot of money into this. It is kind of surprising for all these mods that it only has a top mount intercooler. Granted, it's a really big one, but usually with something this advanced, you'd have a front mount with the piping going around. But we'll see what happens. This is going to be pretty interesting. First ever Subaru on the channel, and it's going to make some pretty decent power. One other thing to mention, guys, this is a Dyno Dynamics dyno. It's a really cool dyno. It actually has like an accordion feature for, it's obviously all-wheel drive, but it can extend or, you know, suck in depending on the wheelbase of the car. So he just showed me that. That was really cool. And he said that it does dyno, the numbers seem to be about 10% lower than like a previous Mustang dyno that he was using at a different shop. So should be interesting. Okay guys, we're running into a couple of issues here. The car, there's an issue with reading the mass airflow coming through the air box. So what we're gonna do, this has a stock appearing air box, but it seems to have this big 5-inch inlet, or 4-inch rather, and then this is kind of like a doctored up little strap that somebody made for this MAF. So what we're gonna do, Isaac actually had a brand new Cobb intake set up for the car and box. So we're gonna have to spend the extra money and get that installed on the car because the readings just weren't correct. And I'm not a master tuner by any means, but the car was actually trying to call for 25% more fuel over his base map for a stock STI with stock injectors, and that was due to this mass airflow reading. So right now we're just going to throw this new intake in the car and just start moving forward instead of wasting time with this. About an hour and a half later, we've got our Cobb intake installed, filter in there. We also did a 3-port boost. What is it? 3-port boost solenoid?
Yep, boost control solenoid.
Boost control solenoid. So we're looking pretty good. All Cobb stuff. So now hopefully we can make a little noise. So just to give you guys an idea of this process here, and keep in mind this is a pretty much unknown car until Isaac got his eyes on it to start checking all these things. So I got here just before 10 a.m. It's 3:20 now. We still haven't made any pulls yet. He's just trying to track down a lot of little inconsistencies and straighten some things out. So we did spend a little extra money today on the intake and that boost solenoid, but we're ready to start making pulls. So maybe I'll be home by dark. We'll see. Gets dark here in about 2 hours, so with any luck I'll get dinner tonight. Sorry from the noise of the fan, guys. We've got 3 fans going to keep this car cool and we're hitting the dyno with the hood shut so that we can replicate real life conditions. But that last pull just made 304. The wastegate pressure on this thing alone produces 18 psi of boost. So that's just to give you an idea of how radical this thing is. So he's working his magic in there. We've yet to run it past like 6,000 RPM. So we're chipping away at it. So hopefully within the next hour or so, we'll have our final tune in this thing and we can drive it home. But I'll still cut to some more video of doing some max effort pulls when he gets to it. That last pull was 345. It picked up 20 horse with 1 pound of boost.
That's excellent.
Yeah, that's a huge gain off of 1 pound of boost.
Yep. Yeah, we just leaned it out a tiny smidge and picked up 1 pound of boost.
So you want to leave it at 22?
I think so. I'm kind of looking at injector to see how much more we've got.
What duty is that on the injectors?
I don't know. That's what I'm looking at right now. We're getting up there. We're getting up in the 80% range.
80% range?
Yeah. I'm going to play with it a little bit and see how much injector we have left. We've got a lot of fuel pump in this car. Really awesome fuel system. Kind of not so awesome fuel injectors.
Yeah.
But we're doing pretty good so far.
Cool, man. 345, that's going to be... that's going to pass the seat of the pants test for sure.
Yeah, I usually tell people 350, 350, so 350 torque, 350 horsepower usually
tell, like, just in the low RPM that I could drive this before, I could tell something was going to happen. I mean, and this is like a 3,300 pound car, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
Maybe a little more.
Yeah, they're surprisingly heavy too.
Yeah.
But
well, that's some incredible progress so far.
Yeah, we're finally winning. It's been a long day.
Yeah, it's dark now. I got here in the morning.
Been a long day today. That's how it goes, you know, when you're sorting out issues on a car, especially when there's a lot of unknowns. But you get good parts on a car, you get familiar with the car, and things start working out.
Cool.
You start making some real headway.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
That was 357 on the same boost level.
Good gain, no boost. Yeah. 1 degree of advance.
1 degree of advance.
Pretty good. I think we need more boost.
Good too. I mean, when you lift, it's not coughing or anything. It's really clean.
Yep. Yeah, let me try some stuff.
We're getting into the point of diminishing returns for boost. So we're at the top.
We're done. Let's go back to where we were,
Sounds good. So 363.
Yep. It's 363 and probably about the same torque. Let me look.
So you're gonna leave it at 25 psi?
Nah, I'm gonna turn it back down.
Turn it down. So did it actually made more on less at one point?
Oh yeah, and that'll vary. You know, we like to try to put some temperature in them, do a few back-to-back hits, see how it's going to respond in a real life situation.
Yeah.
If you're out flogging on it, is it going to start to knock as it gets a lot more heat into the intake manifold and the intercooler and things like that? So, you know, we want to try to make it as real as possible.
Yeah.
And that's why I try and do a few hits in a row, get everything hot, just do it back to back to back, and just flog on a little bit.
Yeah.
And make sure that the car's okay with where we're at. It did fine. There's really no reason to have the boost at this level.
Yeah.
We're out of efficiency on the intercooler. So the more boost we make, the more temperature it makes, and we lose more power.
Yeah. So
there's really no reason to go
front mount intercooler. Would be the next step for somebody on this car.
Front mounted intercooler would be a good idea. I mean, the thing shreds how it is. I think it's gonna really.
I think that's killer. That's surpassed what I was thinking actually. So that's
we made 100.
Pretty good. Yeah, we at least made 100.
We at least made 100.
That was his promise to me this morning. Was at least 100 horse. So,
so
we did that.
We tripled that and then some. So we made 163 foot-pounds of torque on that last rip.
Yeah.
And the same horsepower.
1 to 1.
Yep. And, sorry, 363 is what I was
I thought you said 163, but I can't hear anything with these fans going out here.
Yeah, so
I wasn't going to call you out.
Yeah, we've made. So we've made 355 foot-pounds of torque and 363 horsepower on that last rip, and that was after we had a lot of inlet temperature going on, and so I'm pretty happy with that. We're probably just going to take it back down to like 22, 23 pounds on the street and let it rip.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah.
it sounds so good too.
Yeah,
like it's
running really
super
well.
healthy.
It idles well. It cruises well.
No more check engine lights.
Yeah, exactly.
Isaac dialed this thing in. It didn't barely run when we brought it here this morning.
Yep. Now it starts, runs, and cruises. That's all we want. And it also makes a whole bunch of power up top too.
All the power I could ask for out of a car that I didn't even know had all these mods done to it.
Yeah.
So that's really good.
Yep. It's gonna take me a little bit of time. We'll tidy up the final calibration on it, get a final reflash on it, and probably do just a couple of more pulls on it once I final up everything and make sure that we're good and happy.
Get our final graph and we'll be good. All right, it's finally done. It's completely dark out and we're ready to go. I just wanted to thank Isaac again for everything he did today. He stayed late. It's like 6 p.m. now, and so now he's getting back to his family. But thanks again very much, man. I appreciate it. I'll keep you posted on the car and put all your info in the link below in the video.
Sounds good. And if you have any concerns with it, certainly let us know.
Sounds good. All right, guys. Well, that was a really long day. I just stopped off at the gas station to get some food before the drive home. But this thing is running good. Thanks again to Isaac. That was a fun day. I mean, he literally spent all day with me getting this car sorted out, and troubleshooting stuff, overcoming things. So I'm totally burnt out and it's dark out. So tomorrow we will pick up and go for a proper test drive in this thing now that it runs. So we'll see you then. Well, it's the next day, and I drove it home last night. I didn't get much of a chance to lean on it just because I was just trying to take it easy, but we'll go out and do some proper pulls on it now. It definitely feels a lot better. It is really responsive. And hopefully you can hear that. I mean, this thing is pretty nasty. Comes on, man, and this you're just glued to the seat. That was like 3/4 throttle there and 1/2 shift. I mean, this thing means business. This thing is so fast. That is insane how fast this thing is. that is really impressive. I feel like I'm in the Fast and Furious movie. Like, this car literally sounds like a sound clip from the Fast and the Furious. Man, this thing is fast. This is totally different, you know, than any other car that I'm used to. I mean, this is really something here. I mean, these engines, 2.5 liter 4-cylinder, and it just rips like you can't believe. That turbo noise does not get old. That's a really big turbo that we've got in this thing, and when that thing comes into boost, it pulls. It was holding 22 pounds all the way to 7,000 RPM, so that thing holds a lot of steam up top. And you can see, I mean, I'm revving this thing all the way to 7,000, and I'm glued to the seat the entire time. I mean, this thing is really a performer. Wow, guys, my heart is like beating out of my chest right now. Like, this 363 horsepower, that might not sound like a lot, but all-wheel horsepower in a little car like this, I mean, that's some serious power. This thing hauls ass. The idle is perfect now too. Before, I mean, obviously with no tune in it, with all these upgrades and a massive fuel system, it didn't want to idle very well, but Isaac's got it dialed in right to like 1,000, and it just sits there perfect. you guys can tell how quick this is just from the noise of it, but I probably don't have this facial expression too often in some of the other cars I drive. I mean, this is really something. Now I know why people, like, so many of these cars are wrecked or salvaged in junkyards, because they just, you know, modified like this. These things just rip. I mean, no wonder people are wrecking these things left and right. This is definitely a street weapon. Yeah, that turbo, guys, right at about 4,000 is when it starts to come in strong, and you can just hear it. It's something special for sure. Well, guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. That was really interesting. That was my first ever Subaru experience getting on the dyno. We even uncovered more mods on the car that I didn't even realize when I bought it. So I totally just stumbled into a really incredibly built Subaru. And let me know what you think in the comments. I think it's a really cool car, and it runs extremely hard now. So thanks again to Isaac at Fishhead Performance Tuning. I'm gonna leave his info in the description below. So if you do live in the Pacific Northwest or Inland Northwest, I highly recommend you give Isaac a call or check out his site if you have some tuning that you need done on your own vehicle. As always, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a big thumbs up for me and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more automotive content like you saw here today. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next video.